Well, hello, and welcome back. Today's topic is the importance of storytelling. My name is Lakeisha Copeland. I am the founder of Winning While Waiting, and our motto is to rebuild, empower, and deploy you into destiny. I am also the founder of the Unleash Your Inner Beast course and also Daughters Against Domestic Violence. And it has been my pleasure coming before you every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, just going over certain things, different things that will help you on your destiny and purpose. And today's masterclass was actually inspired by a video that I was watching. I was listening to someone who I really don't know much about. I was listening to her Facebook Live, and she said something. It was just one point that she said that I kind of took it and ran with it. She basically said that every day there are stories that are replaying in your mind. Like there are subconsciously, there is a story that's in your mind, and subconsciously, you have already decided whether or not um, you have already decided how that story is going to end. For some of you who are dealing with low self esteem and you lack confidence in certain things, you've pretty much decided the end of the story because every day you are acting out that story. So if you feel that you are going to fail at a certain thing, subconsciously you act out the failure that you believe. For example, if you feel like that you are not equipped or capable of writing a book or succeed having a successful business or um, doing whatever it is that you believe that God has purposed you to do in the earth realm, you will subconsciously act out the parts that leads up to your failure. So we have to make sure that we are conscious of every action that we take because subconsciously you are acting out whether or not you believe you can or whether or not you believe you can't. You are acting out the parts in that story. If you believe that you can't, you pretty much won't do the work, or if you do the work, you won't do enough work to succeed. You would just do a little work. You might have a goal that you're going to do 5 blog posts, but the blog post that you write is not even something that you yourself would want to read or you yourself would believe in because subconsciously you are acting out the end that you believe. We know that the Bible says that better is the end of the thing than the beginning. But if you don't believe that the end of the thing is better than the beginning, if you believe that the end will lead to disappointment, failure, you will act out the scenes in the story that will lead to failure and disappointments because subconsciously that is what you believe. And I'm trying to get this point across because this is just something that really just hit my story that subconsciously every day we are acting out scenes in a story. But whether or not it will end in good and greatness and success, it is pretty much up to you. It's not up to your parents. It's not up to someone helping you or open a door up for you. It is up to you, and it is up to what you believe in your heart and what you believe is true. Now, then we know that storytelling is the act of telling and writing stories. And so I wanted to give you 3 lessons. I wanted to go over 3 specific topics with you. And the lesson number 1 is that you are the main character in your story. So it doesn't matter environmental coding, doesn't matter generational curses, doesn't matter. None of those things matters. That doesn't even play because you are the main character in your story. A lot of times we believe that the reason why we are not seeing the success that we want in our business or in our life is because it's because of our parents, or it's because of the devil, or generational curses, or it's because we are black, or it is because we are female. Sometimes that you would think that that is the reason why that you are not seeing success, but that is not true, because you are the main character in your story. You are the main character. So it's up to you to figure out how is it that you want the story to end, and how you want it to end depends on the actions that you take today. And lesson number 2 is that we have to stop writing stories that have a bad storyline. Now, how many of you have ever watched a movie that pretty much just sucked? The storyline sucked, the characters was bad, it was bad acting, and the end was very predictable. And that is sometimes how subconsciously we are creating our life. We pretty much decided subconsciously that this business that we just started is not going to succeed. We have subconsciously decided that we don't have the resources, that we're not going to have the money or the time, or it's pretty much we have already decided that the storyline is going to be very predictable, that it's going to have a bad ending, and that it is not going to have a happy ever after ending. Subconsciously, you have decided that, and so every day, subconsciously, you are acting out that bad storyline. And so point number 2 is we have to stop creating stories that have a bad storyline. We have to create a story that has a good storyline, that leads to success, that leads to what pretty much what we want it to be, that leads to our purpose and destiny, and doing that which God has called us to do. And the lesson number 3 is you have the grace to rewrite your story. Now, yes, sometimes you may have failed and you may have experienced bad things. Yes, sometimes you may have not been born with a silver spoon, or you may not have the resources or the talents like other people have. But that doesn't mean that that's where the story ends. That doesn't mean that the story is going to end in defeat or failure or disappointment. That is not where the story ends, because God has given you grace to rewrite the story. God has given you grace to start a new chapter, a new adventure of your life. Pretty much doing that what God has actually called you to do. So just because you are not seeing the results you want to see today does not mean that you will never see the results that you want to see. So you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work that leads to your win. Your work will lead to a win. And it pretty much depends on you. It doesn't depend on anybody else. And in order to do this, you need to have God confidence. You need to have confidence in who God has created you to be. And so this video was, like I said before, I was inspired by something that someone said, and I never thought about it that way, because every day subconsciously there's a story going on in our mind. But it's up to us. It is up to us. It has to us to decide what the end is going to result in. And the end is a result of the work and the effort, and the belief that we have in our purpose and our destiny, and the thing that we know that God has called us to do. So if you believe that your story will end in success, if you believe that there's a win in your work, if you believe that all things are possible, and that you have been given grace to rewrite your story, and that you have been given grace to have a good storyline, and that you believe and know that you are the main character in your story, and that you won't die off like in other films. A lot of times we see that in some films that the main character died, but you have to make up your mind. You have to decree over your own life that you will not die until the purpose and the and the plan of God that God has for you come to pass, and that everything that God has put on the inside of your belly will come to pass. And so I just wanted to leave this with you, because I was truly inspired by her video, because I never thought of it that way, that every day there's a story replaying in your mind, and but it's up to you to believe that how the story is going to end. It is either going to end in failure, or it is going to end in success. Again, my name is Lakeisha Copeland. It has been my pleasure coming before you every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. If you enjoyed this video, and if you was inspired by this, leave a comment and let me know. And also, I do have a of a 7-step guide that will help you build confidence in your purpose, confidence in the plan that God has for your life, confidence in doing exactly what it is that you believe that you have been purposed to do. Make sure you grab my 7-step guide at www.purposefulpain.com, and remember that there is a purpose for your pain, and to remember that God has not forgotten you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.